Before we discuss any particular myth, it is important to understand what makes a myth and the different types of myth in more detail. Myth is no fiction, but a reality. It is, however, one of a different order from that of so-called empirical fact. Myth is a story preserved on the popular memory of a past event and transcends the limits of the objective world, revealing an ideal world, a subject-object world of fact. Mythology is a snapshot in time. Many myths were believed to be true and factual. They were created to make sense of the world we live in and explain why we are here and why bad things happen. Myths are sacred stories of a culture and include creation accounts, religious systems which influence mythic development, stories of historic events and worldviews that explain the nature of reality, tales of heroes that feature ideal human traits, and traditional, sacred stories containing psychosocial truths. Let's go over the different types of myths. You are likely familiar with many of these, but I'll go over what stories we believe fall under the definition of myth and the characteristics for each type. Divine myths explain the origins and adventures of the gods. The gods are both characters and objects of worship in these stories. Divine myths typically serve to provide spiritual meaning to the structure of the universe, as well as explain the origins of religious and social practices, sacrifices, rituals, traditions, and so forth. These usually take place outside of human time and space. In fact, the timelines for a lot of these stories are confusing and don't make sense within our understanding of time and space. Legends involve extraordinary humans, such as heroes, kings, queens, and elites. As such, they are believed to be true accounts of the distant past. In reality, legends likely have elements of historical truth. Over time, their details evolve and change. Legends help to answer the question, what happened in our past? They often equate to heroic myths, but that is not always the case. Some examples of legends you may recognize are the tale of the city of Atlantis, King Arthur, Robin Hood, and the Trojan War. Heroic myths are usually a specific type of legend. Heroic myth involves an individual taking on an epic quest, which includes undertaking a long journey and confronting monsters. This hero reflects the values and virtues of the culture. The myth often involves a hero who courageously sacrifices for the greater good, and their journey reflects the hero cycle that we will discuss in more detail later in class. Examples of these include Perseus, Heracles, Rama, Beowulf, and Hu Yi. Folk tales can include fairy tales, fables, tall tales, just so stories, and stories of oral tradition. They involve ordinary humans and animals. They are not meant to be believed. They are used to express moralistic ideas and justify patterns of behavior. For example, good triumphing over evil, family roles, lessons about behaviors and vices, how to cope with everyday life, and superstitions. Folktale motifs are usually blended into legends. Examples of folktales include Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, The Tortoise and the Hare, Paul Bunyan, The Lion and the Mouse, and La Llorona. Cultural heroes can be gods or humans. They bring new gifts, techniques, technology, and knowledge to humans, such as fire, agriculture, medicine, and law. Examples include Prometheus, Raven, Maui, and Botoke. These stories often coincide with the development of civilization, and they often reveal a consequence for the actions and the knowledge obtained in the narrative. For example, Prometheus is a titan who stole fire from one of Zeus's thunderbolts and gave the fire as a gift to the humans. Zeus punishes him by tying up Prometheus and setting a large eagle upon him to eat at his liver. The liver grows back each day and the torture continues. Prometheus becomes a hero to the ancient Greeks, and the story provides entomology for the creation of fire as well as the ritual of sacrifice. Creation myths explain how the world was created and populated. We go into these more in detail in another section, so I won't go over all their attributes here. But some examples of creation myths include the ages of man, the Toltec-Aztec creation cycle, the emergence Navajo creation story, and the Maori creation cycle. Humanity has long had an obsession with death. From stories of the undead to quests for immortality, the only seemingly sure thing, death, has plagued the human consciousness. However, the death of the individual is not the only death that humans worry about. Like creation myths, many cultures have their own end of the world mythology. These myths foretell the destruction of the world. They are often prophetic in nature. These stories frequently describe a series of events that lead to the end of days. They are not universal, however. They are products of their time. Famous examples include Ragnarok, Shiva, Kali, Kalki, and the Hopi tribe, the Fifth Age. Our review of mythology this month focuses primarily on heroic myths, legends, and creation myths. You may be familiar with some of these from earlier studies on Greek or Norse mythology in high school. In this course, we try to discuss stories from a number of different cultures and regions. You will see that these different types are present around the world.